Topic is when you're looking for stress relief, why I recommend reading a book for fun. That's just only for fun. And the reason I recommend that is that a good dear friend once said to my dad, Americans do meditate. They meditate when they read. Have you ever been reading a book, especially a book that you love, and all of a sudden time slips away? All of a sudden you're transported to another place in time. Your body is literally relaxing. You're focused in and just relaxing and enjoying yourself. Now, this does not include books for for professional development. I'm a fan of those too, but I'm asking you to read 30 minutes every day just for fun. It can be comic books, it can be something fun, but it can't be on this. It needs to be a book or a Kindle, something like that, but reading for reading's sake, just for joy. And the reason we have found this to be true is that it's powerfully good for you in a number of ways. It does help you feel meditative, but it also lets you know you kind of have that little bubble time just for yourself. If you find it's hard to read for 5 minutes, and if you're like me, when you return back to reading for fun, it can feel that way sometimes. Our minds have not been trained recently to focus. We tend to go from activity to activity. Digital downloads have taught us to swipe for that next hit and what's my next email and where's my next video on TikTok. And in fact, what's going to help us focus to get anything done is going to be the ability to sit and do one task for a period of time. So when you start to feel those intrusions coming into your mind, I want you to acknowledge them and release them with no judgment. If you've ever done yoga, you know that's where I got that whole phrase from. If you've ever done meditation, because when we try to focus on one thing these days, it can be almost impossible. And it's one of the best, most productive things that we can do. We used to actually have to memorize passages in school, and that was part of how we stretched our memory and created this neuroplasticity of the ability to see data and consume it. Have you ever watched a movie and recall it? I mean, if you've ever watched a movie like Jack Reacher, there's this incredible scene where he looks at something and then someone kind of recalls it for him, and he can recall like 17 numbers that he saw that one time. That's amazing. We don't need that, but we do need to kind of build both our stress relief through this sort of meditation, our joy through traveling through reading, learning about new characters through reading, and our memory and consistency and focus that's going to help us in other areas of our life. I have found that when I dig down and read for joy, and I'm actually reading a book now that a friend loaned me. Thank you, Mike Krejci. I'm reading The Expanse. It's a television show that I loved. I love science fiction. And I did find it challenging to just sit and read a chapter because I kept wanting to get up and do something else. And it's helping me calm my body, relieve my stress, increase my focus, and decrease my distractedness. Other things in my life that help me do those. First and foremost, you know, I love my Valor oil. Valor is a unique oil for Young Living, and it's called the unicorn oil. It actually has some blue tansy in it, so it can leave a little bit of blue color behind, which is kind of funny, but it smells incredible. It's got the most incredible scent, but for me, what it does is it takes 22 different Amy's that are all thinking about something different. One's thinking about the kids, one's thinking about the bills, one's thinking about errands or a friend or remembering Maggie and thinking I'm sad about that, or what's for dinner, or am I late for something and what am I up to, right? You feel me? This allows all those Amy's to come in one Amy, and then I will address each issue individually. It also comes in a container like this so that you can diffuse it, but you can also apply it on your wrists. You'll see here that blue color, and I just rub it in like this. And I'll also do what's called a tint scent. So I take some of that blue, I rub it. It only takes like one drop, and breathe in for 5, hold for 5, and release for 5. Even just that deep breathing technique will be transformational for you. But if you add a little bit of Valor, follow the link, you're going to be in heaven. The next thing I do is I use my Wave Watch. This is sound frequencies. And actually, oils actually operate a bit off of frequencies as well because they help you adjust your frequency. I first learned about this and I thought it was so fascinating because our frequencies actually lower as we get ill. And everything living has a frequency. So if you want to test a green bean in a field, it's going to have a certain frequency. If you test a green bean in a can, it's actually no frequency, it's dead. And that may tell us something about how our health and wellness is going, eating the foods we're eating. But every living thing has a frequency. And if our frequency gets too low, that leaves us susceptible to illness. So keeping your frequency high is one of the best ways that you can stay well. I do that partially by using my Valor. This is actually using sound to help heal, which is incredible to me. It's brand new. I've never heard of it to me, but it's ancient technology. And I've got a link here. You can go check out all the information on the Wave Watch, is what it's called, WAVWATCH. And you can use my code AmyW100 to get $100 off. My friend Keisha actually found it to be the most helpful in terms of her ADHD and focus. And she said when she wears her watch, she gets her work done so much more quickly. I loved that she shared her experience. I've also heard of people using it for sleep. As you may know, if you follow me, I use it for my Bell's palsy, and it's dramatically changed how I'm experiencing that. That's also something I want to point out about stress. When I'm talking about stress relief, I think we all are in, right? Stress relief, that sounds great. I don't want to be so stressed. But stress is one of the only things that they can point back to what causes Bell's palsy. While scientists don't know exactly what causes it, that's one of the factors that's consistently and commonly shared. We know stress leads to other issues like high blood pressure, heart disease. It's just not good for us. Actually, there is good stress. You can follow that. You can look at my blogs and read about that. There is stress to a certain level, like almost an excitement and anticipation of focus. And the minute it gets too stressful for you, the minute your thoughts start racing, your heart stops, your hands get clammy, that's not good for you. And we can stop it. So, creating a habit of reading 30 minutes a day, a fun book, and using a few simple tools, you can decrease your stress, and that's going to help you in the long run as it's helped me. I hope this was helpful. I'm so happy to see you here on a Monday. I hope the rest of your day is light and easy, and I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow live around 5. One of the things I'm going to be talking about is